Hey, what's going on, Hawk Nation? It's your boy Chop, the Underground Hip Hop Gardener. Just do a small video testing a new app out that I have, a video app, editing app. Basically, I have some oregano, a whole bunch, two bunches of oregano actually, from my garden that I'm about to dehydrate and dry out. And my power air fryer I got as a gift for Christmas a couple of years ago from my lovely mother. It dehydrates, it rotisserie, it bakes, it even fries. So it's all without oil. So it's a powerful tool, very efficient tool to have if you like to dehydrate some of your herbs and whatnot, and you can use for other purposes. So again, I have some oregano here that I'm going to prep for dehydration. I clipped it off, had it sitting in the refrigerator until I got a chance because the oregano bush was getting so freaking big and out of control. So what I did was I wrapped it in some paper towel and wet it. I had it in a plastic bag in the refrigerator for a few days after I clipped it. Now I'm gonna process it, wash it off, and stick it in the dehydrator. After I stick it in the dehydrator for a few hours and it dehydrates down, I'll grind it up in my food processor uh, and put it in a container. Label it Hot Nation Oregano. When prepping oregano for dehydration, you want to make sure you're taking off these flowers here. Okay, if you can see that pretty good. These I had to start clipping these because they were starting to flower. You see, a lot of them have a lot of flowers. So I'm going to take the flowers off and actually strip as much as the leaves off of the hard stems. These hard woody stems don't need to go and to be processed. The small stems, very light, that's fine. Once they dehydrate, they'll break and crack easily in the food processor or blender. I recommend if you're using a blender, don't put it on high and kind of use it as a pulse because you don't want it too fine. You want nice sized little flakes of the oregano. You don't want it to be a powder. So you want to make sure that you don't put it in the blender too long or too powerful of a blender. So this is going to take me a while. I don't expect you guys to sit here and watch all this. This is stripping all these leaves off can take a minute. I love smell of fresh herbs and vegetables, but especially fresh herbs so like oregano and basil is a really nice one. I love the smell of basil or mint. I have all of that growing in my garden. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna get to sorting out the tough stems with the tender stems and the plucking the flowers off and get this down, and I'll be back at you in just a moment. All right.
एडिट में जो भी आपको फोटोज लेना हो वो आप ले सकते हो या वीडियो लेना हो तो वीडियो ले सकते हो
So this is me spreading it out on the dehydrating rack for the power air fryer. I'm going to spread it out, fluff it up, make sure it's kind of even. And this is one rack ready to go, and I still have four more.
Oregano health benefits. Oregano is a popular herb that many people think of as merely a spice to improve or enhance the flavor of their food. But in truth, this perennial herb has a wealth of health benefits that most people don't realize at all. Some of the most impressive and important health benefits of oregano include its ability to protect the immune system, prevent the onset of chronic disease, improve digestion, detoxify the body, strengthen the bones, improve heart health, increase energy levels, and even protect against diabetes. Health benefits of oregano. First, cancer fighting effects. Oregano extract has been shown to lead to growth arrest and cell death in a dose of time-dependent matter in colon cancer cells. A phytochemical in oregano, carnosol, has also been evaluated for anti-cancer property in prostate, breast, skin, leukemia, and colon cancer with promising results. Second, useful for upper respiratory infections. Oregano also has potential antiviral activity, and a spray containing aromatic essential oils from 5 plants, including oregano, was found to significantly relieve symptoms immediately in those with upper respiratory infections. Oregano encourages sweat production as a mode of detox, and ingesting it may help your body to get rid of unwanted phlegm in your lungs.
Hmm.
3. Antifungal, antibacterial, and kill MRSA. Oregano has two phytochemicals, carbachol and thymol, are powerful antimicrobials. Research has shown essential oils from oregano may kill the foodborne pathogen Listeria and the super bug MRSA, while making it a useful addition to hand soaps and disinfectants. 4. Anti-inflammatory properties. Oregano contains beta-caryophyllene, or EBCP, a substance that inhibits inflammation and may also be beneficial for conditions including osteoporosis and arteriosclerosis, as well as metabolic syndrome. 5. Antioxidants for immune system support. One active agent in oregano is rosmarinic acid, which is a strong antioxidant that may support immune system health. Oregano has one of the highest antioxidant activity ratings, with 42 times the antioxidant punch of apples, according to one study. 6. Treats the common cold. The powerful antioxidant and antiseptic properties in oregano make it an excellent treatment for the common cold. When you feel a cold or sore throat coming on, simply add 3 drops of oregano oil to a glass of orange juice. Drink it once daily for up to 5 days until your symptoms are gone. You can also drink oregano tea 2 or 3 times a day for symptom relief. 7. Breaks up nasal congestion. Oregano is a wonderful natural treatment for nasal congestion as it works as a safe and
Hey, Hawk Nation, I wanted to butt in and show you something. I've propagated some of these stems. Basically, you can regrow these herbs again, and ways to there's so many ways to propagate herbs. What I like to do is I like to start them off in a little water. Now you can use some rock wool cubes with water, or just straight water, and or you can add some growth hormones, just powder, just to the tips, to help them to help the hormones kick in. Now, if you're going to propagate, one of the ways you want to do it is you want to cut it at a slant, an angle, right below the leaf node or stem node, because that's where a lot of hormones are already, the plant hormones are already, uh, concentrated at. So I have a couple of stems here, and if you can, now with a stem like this, I mean, you should have some leaves, maybe 3 to 5 leaves per stem. But with a stem like this, I believe this stem is so healthy right now because it's so woodsy, and that's the part that you can really good roots out of. You'll see roots growing in about 2 weeks. Uh, So this is another woodsy one. It's kind of long. I see a leaf node here. Cut it at an angle, and it has a few leaves on top. This is oregano, and then I also found mixed in some parsley, not parsley, cilantro. So I'm going to propagate these as well. Again, right below the leaf node, and cut it to an angle. Okay, so this may not work. This is an experiment with this here cilantro because it's going to seed. It's starting to flower and it's going to seed. Most of the times, the energy will be concentrated on growing a flower, and I'd rather it grow the roots. But I'm definitely going to put some growth hormones, and I'm just going to try it out. After about 2 weeks, if I don't see any roots at all, then I know this was a bad experiment with the cilantro. But it should work just fine with some with the oregano and basil, things like that. And I'll show you some plants that I propagated, some herbs I propagated the other day that's in my windowsill now in just a moment, okay? All right, Hawk Nation. Hey, listen, I'm back. This is crazy. This is taking me a while to get this together. So I've traded up all of my drying racks with oregano, and I still have a bundle of oregano left that I'm going to do some pesto with. I'm going to basically just make a jar or two of pesto with some basil and olive oil and garlic and etc. to add to my pasta throughout the winter season. I'm going to freeze it and then unfreeze it come winter and use it as I need in my pasta. So all my trays are done of stripping leaves. Now the flowers, you may ask, what am I going to do with the flowers? I'm going to save the flowers. I'm going to use these. You can make oregano tea. Oregano has so many beneficial uh, benefits of it. It's a great antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. It helps with colon cancer. Real huge deal. The fact that it helps with colon cancer, gentlemen. So I'm going to save the flower, and I can make teas out of this or put it in my private meals because uh, 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 the beneficial factors of it is so powerful. I don't want to throw it away. You can rub some of this on your skin. Rub the oil of this. Make an oil of it, or again, use it in tea. You just put it. It's really good for you. Of course, when you're preparing other meals for other folks, you may not want to put the flowers in for them because it's not the most best presentation for your food, for your dish. But for your personal self, definitely use it. Gentlemen, keep in mind this is good for preventing and help towards the fight of colon cancer, which is the real reason why I started growing oregano and being so much of it. Just was sure my dad passed away a few years ago, and I'm believing it was due to colon cancer. He would not tell me, but I have a strong belief that that's what it was, based off a few conversations. He was very private. So, gentlemen, and women, please be sure to take some of these herbs and some of these fresh vegetables and utilize their beneficial factors to your benefit. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 racks. I'm going to put this in the air fryer. Give me a second and I'll bring you right over. All right. Okay, so we all set up for the dehydrator. I'm just going to place these in my power air fryer using the dehydrate option setting. And again, this is the power air fry that oven that dehydrates. It air fries, meaning frying your food without uh, any oils needed, deep frying or anything like that, which could be very healthy. It's a rotisserie. It has the spinning option to spin your chicken or whatever it is you're trying to rotisserie. Okay, so I'm going to close this up. This has a fan and it blows warm heat. This is the dehydrating option per start is automatically set to 90 degrees. I'm going to take this up to 110. And then if 110 seems like it's not warm enough, I'll check it in about an hour. If it seems like 110 is not warm enough, I'll take it up to another 5 degrees, 115, and let it run for about 3 hours. Okay, after 3 hours, you want to take it out unless it's not done or whatever tray isn't done, which is probably going to be the lower trays. Whichever one of those trays are not totally dehydrated, you can let that stay in for another 30 minutes to an hour. You don't want it. You don't want them. You see, this is green now. They ought to come out pretty much still green. Okay, if they're coming out brown to brownish, very brown or black, they burned, and that's what you don't want because then all of the flavor and the beneficial factors of it have been evaporated into the air fryer, and it's not going to be beneficial to you at all. So you don't. You still want it when it's green. It's going to be a little darker green than the green before you put it in, but you still want it green. Okay, Hawk Nation. All right. So again, this is your boy Chalk. Stand by. I'm going to show you some other things. Give me a second. Okay, so these are all of my flowers uh, from the oregano. I'm going to save these, and again, these are going to be for my personal use. And this is the last little bit of oregano that I have to, I guess, de-stem, rip the leaves off of. And this is going to go into a pesto, a jar. I have plenty of jars, and I'm going to use this to make some pesto, and then even make a couple of ice cube trays, maybe an ice cube tray full of oregano, fresh oregano grounded into the ice, into the water, and then freeze it. And I'll use that ice to put in, my smoothies so that I can get the beneficial factors of this oregano in my smoothies that I usually make daily. Okay, so there's a few things you can do to preserve oregano, and you can even propagate them. I'll show you that in just a second. All right, Hawk Nation, this is my little propagation uh, area, which is just basically a mantelpiece over top of my radiator, right in front of my window, so it does get sunlight, but not direct sunlight. You don't want direct sunlight on it; it could burn the leaves, intense sun. And you just need enough sun to generate energy for the plants, for the leaves that you did leave at the top to photosynthesize. And to help with that, I have some grow lights here that are shining over top. I don't know how well you can see them, but they have a red and blue spectrum, and these are plant grow lights. Okay, so basically I have a few of these already done, and I have some from today that are harvest and that I dehydrated, and these are the stems from that. I'm just going to add them to the collection. I have some mint here, I have pathos plant, the cilantro, some more mint in soil, and then this is some oregano with deep, heavy stems. So this is the jar that has the heavy, woody stems. And I separate them because I wanted to see which one does well versus another based off of the type of stems that I'm propagating. Okay, another jar here. And I have about an inch to 2 inch of water, depending on how long the stem is, in each container. Now, again, I am experimenting with a lot of these. So once I start to see roots, that's when I'll call you guys back up and say, hey, listen, I got another video to show you, and I'll give you a close up of the ones that have roots. And that's going to take about another week to 2 weeks. Now, you don't want to mix them like mint in one jar, mint and oregano in the same jar. You want to propagate them in its own separate species. something that has some wrong. So I have to force it into this one. I'll force it into this one. Let me bring you around to show you what it looks like from another angle. Okay. Now these are all propagated. The patho plants, the herbs, mint, basil, cilantro, and of course plenty of oregano. So I'm hoping to have plenty of plants left for this fall. Now, all right, y'all, check this out. I know you won't believe this, but that's right. I don't throw away much of anything. I try to repurpose everything from the garden. Whatever scraps that I cannot use goes into compost, and some things that are pretty good, I just don't have the room for it. I still throw it in the compost. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the stems. I have a bushel of stems here, but I know to save space, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a large Ziploc bag and label it oregano stems, and I'll freeze it. But before then, I'm going to put it through my food processor because I'm absolutely sure it has some kind of health benefits to it. You can save yourself so much money over the year from buying fresh herbs by using these methods that I'm doing today. If you was to take time out, an hour and a half, 2 hours out of your day, maybe once a week for 4 weeks, and do one herb or two herbs a day, an hour and a half out of your day, you'll have enough herbs to last you for cooking for the whole year, not just through the winter time, but winter, spring, summer, and fall. You'll have herbs, and you'll have herbs growing because you propagate it. So I'm going to use the pulse motion. And you don't want to turn this thing on, this or any kind of blender, food processor, blender, bullet. You don't want to turn these things on and just walk away from them. You don't, because they could just pop right off. Like this one seems like, even though it's locked, it can easily come off. I don't like that about this particular food processor. See that wobbling? put this through a lot. So I'm gonna have to use my bullet for the rest of it. Doesn't seem to want to. Grind the rest. I guess the blades are all cut up. Of course, if this was dry, this would have went a lot easier. I'll do another video once I put this in the NutriBullet and break it down some more. I'll do another video on that one. Okay. So again, this is your boy Chalk from Hop Nation, the Underground Hip Hop Gardener. This is a long video, but I wanted to show folks the other part of gardening is not just the harvest. There's a process after that, and there's some beneficial factors to gardening and the things that you bring into your home, for what you bring into your body and your children's body. So with that being said, I want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day. Was it Labor Day? It's one of those folks' holiday. It ain't our holiday. Weekend that you enjoy yourselves. Remember to be COVID safe when you're out with your family this weekend, because COVID is real and it's still out there. And just because someone loves you and wants to be around you doesn't mean they necessarily protect you. Because you can contract COVID or you can give COVID to your loved ones and from your loved ones. So as much as I love my family, I want to protect them and I want to stay protected. I need you guys to keep that in mind until this thing is over. Nothing lasts forever. The last pandemic outbreak we had, it lasted for a little while with the swine flu, and then it was over. Mankind went on after it, and we survived, and we progressed, and we learned from it. One of the things I learned from watching the videos of all of the different pandemics that we had is that it was history. It is now being told because we are here to tell it. Folks live past it. I want to be one of those folks to tell a story versus the story being told of. And I hope you guys have that same mentality of thinking, you want to make it past all of this that's going on. It may last for another month. It may last for another 6 months, even another year if it does. So what? If you cannot control it, make sure you're rolling with the punches and you survive it. That's the biggest thing. I want to survive this series in life that we're all going through. All right? Be a survivor, not a portion of somebody's story. Your boy Hop Nation, Underground Hip Hop Gardener. I love y'all. Remember, feed God's children, and your fridge will never go empty.